We have no music.
No.
We have
No
no
leader.
no introduction. We have no leader. He's not here, but the show must go
It
on.
must go on.
So we'll do the best we can. He's John. I'm Carl. Mario's
Recovering.
He's recovering from surgery, and we're just being silly.
Yes, we're glad he's all doing well.
He's all good. It's Wednesday, January 8th, and here we are. John and I are going to try to do this without Mario, who generally keeps us all
Same.
together. So we're gonna try to work our way through this. But yeah, so here we are. It's January 8th,
Yes.
right? We're like a couple weeks away from Dagwoods,
Yes, we are.
and we got our nice little fancy promo there. Where Dagwoods up in the Northeast. Corey Clement will be joining us.
Big name.
Should be pretty exciting night that night, January 22nd.
Yes. Upstairs on the
6:30 upstairs. And they do a lot of partying up there.
They do.
I follow them quite a bit, and the more I got to know them, they do a lot of stuff up there.
They're busy. They're always moving around.
So hopefully within the next week, I don't have anything to announce right now, but hopefully within the next week, we're going to have something in place for PJ Willihan's Newtown Square.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be back there. I'm not quite sure whether we're going to sneak in for January, but definitely February. So we'll be back in our cool little spot in Delco.
Yes.
So look for that announcement soon. But don't want to give anything away till we get the ink to dry and everybody's in place.
Exactly.
But so here we are.
Jack wants Flyers guests.
Jack wants Flyers guest. Okay,
Jack.
I'm working on Jake.
Voracek, yeah.
I'm working on Jake Voracek. How does that work?
He's pretty close.
I asked him about tonight, but he's busy.
Right.
So
just had a tough road trip, but they're coming back home.
So what do you have on your mind? Well, let me rephrase this. let me rephrase, because you got more papers in front of you than any general manager I know.
Well, we got a big off season here with the Eagles.
How about that, huh?
21 free agents. 16 of them are pretty.
Yeah, I saw
names.
you. I saw you doing some last minute homework there.
Yeah, well, you got some names that were starters. There's gonna be which means there could be a lot of turnover. Plus, we got one guy in Malcolm Jenkins that doesn't want to play under his contract that he has right now. Plus, we got
all right. So we're not even 5 minutes into the show, and you already struck a nerve.
I know. Well,
so you don't think they should re-up them? You think that's
well? No, I don't have a problem, extending them because he played well this year.
Hadn't missed a snap in 2 years.
Yeah.
Leader on the defense.
Right. Oh,
he's right up there with Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham.
Oh no, he's definitely one of their guys. But
I really firmly believe that he got the team to come together after the Miami debacle, and fully responsible for a lot of things. And I just think they need to do them right.
Right. No, I agree.
I'm all about honoring the contract.
Right.
But in the day and age where guys, Brandon Graham's already done it.
Right.
They re-upped him last year, and he's already modified it and restructured his deals so that they could allow more money under the salary cap. So I just think they need him because your list is pretty. If you're going to add him to the list, we're in trouble.
Right. You got all your D-backs are all out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a No, he's got to be done. Sign him up for a few more, extend the contract.
I mean,
so he still plays under that 1 year contract, and then extend them 2 or 3 more years, whatever.
Tear it up. He deserves a new contract.
Well, but restructure, where that way, because we're only $30 million under the salary cap.
Only.
So it's
only.
So
no wonder how he was apologizing today.
Right. We're scraping nickels. $30 million under the
so
cap.
had we gone after Clowney, we wouldn't have had this debacle this past Sunday.
Him or maybe even a Jalen Mills. I mean, Ramsey.
But I mean, I look at the Clowney thing. If he's on your team, he's not going to take out your quarterback. He's going to take out their quarterback.
No, that's true.
I guess I don't know. I'm curious to hear what people think. I guess he just wasn't the fit here in the locker room.
Yeah, that's going to be
there's a cultural kind of thing going on. Where some guys meet that level of getting along with other guys. And
I guess maybe too, because he had taken the shot at Foles last year, Clowney as well, when he was with Houston, and
right,
almost turned around, and then hit him in the sternum and knocked his wind out of him there on that. And fortunately Foles was able to come back for that last drive to win the game for us. But
so Mario's saying we should have gone after him during the game, but you didn't know the extent because Carson still played.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then it wasn't until he left the field that, and to that point, I think CBS reported he had an arm injury.
Right. Yeah, they thought it was his
hand or wrist or something.
Yeah.
So at that point, what are you going to do? You're going to start a brawl in a playoff game?
Well, and plus it was you retaliate, then
then your guy gets
you're the
out.
guy getting thrown out of the game. Clowney's still going to be in the game, and we lose Carson anyway. So no, it was a tough situation. I mean, was it a dirty hit? I honestly I don't think so. I mean, it was an unfortunate situation because he hit him and it ended up being head to head, but.
Well, here's my
it wasn't that he was not going out of his way either. It was football. You drop on people every time.
Here's my 2 cents. You got a quarterback, and you got an opportunity to take a legal shot at him.
Right.
You're going to take it.
Right
or wrong.
Yeah.
You're going to take it. Did he?
It ended up being head to helmet at the end.
That's the part of it that I had a little bit of a problem with.
Well, of course. Right.
You know what I mean? Because the day and age of football and,
Mm-hmm.
the head injuries and, that sort of thing. But, if he had slid Brady-like,
well, that was the thing.
We wouldn't be talking about this.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he continues to put himself in, in a vulnerable spot, sliding this way or going down this way.
Right.
And
he was kind of tackled a little bit where he got tripped up his legs and
no
going
doubt.
forward. But
no doubt,
it's any other circumstance that you're gonna get dropped on, and it just so happened whether or not Clowney did, he probably was going for him, but helmet to helmet. It wasn't like he really hit him hard helmet to helmet either. Didn't appear like.
Yeah,
it was kind of in his back, but then got him in the back of the helmet.
I was shocked that there wasn't a flag anywhere. I thought for sure somebody was going to throw a flag, because you got all these officials and
especially that crew.
That
crew threw a lot of penalties.
So
typically, so yeah. I mean, it was
disappointed. Disappointed because I think that's a winnable game.
If Carson's there, we win.
If Carson's there,
right? Oh no, it was.
I think the outcome is totally different. Disappointed because it happened so early in the game,
right?
And then we had to go to Josh,
and
how old is he?
40 years old.
That wasn't pretty.
I mean, he played well, all things considered, and he showed a little bit more guts than our center in basketball, which we'll probably talk about later on when. We got time for that.
We got time for that.
But when he pulled either his hamstring or his glute muscle or whatever it was that when he reaching for his left butt cheek, pulling something there and played through the last.
again, here we are. We're talking about the backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We're still in position to win the game.
Right.
We still got a chance. Miles Sanders catches that ball, walks into the end zone. We're going for 2 to tie the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Couple questionable things, but
it's just amazing.
Kick the field goal instead of going for it on fourth down.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, just I mean, and I'm a Doug, not basher, but just on him as far as
Don't
with
hold
his
back.
moves. No, I'm not going to hold back.
Hold
but,
back.
I mean,
it's because Mario's not here. Don't.
But that wasn't a day. I don't think you can't. I mean, like I said, there was a couple of questionable play calls and not doing lean passes as much and then not kicking the field goal there. But I don't know that it wasn't a too many other circumstances happened that game. So with Carson going down being the main thing.
Yeah,
Brandon Graham being out for as long as he was.
How much different play calling do you think went on? After Carson left, do you think that much? I mean, it sure didn't look like it.
I thought so. I mean, from the past 4 weeks, they didn't use the screen pass as much as they should have.
No, because
and Seattle's
a lot of time, they had to hold, they had to hold guys back. Chris, they had the 2 tight ends blocking with Jason Peters to give him help.
Did Peters show up yesterday on Sunday?
He's probably Jerry Nalen from Connecticut. Hi, gentlemen.
Yes, how you doing?
You use that term loosely.
Yes,
but we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Yeah, he's probably one guy that I don't need to have come back. I mean, he's very serviceable. Did a lot of good for the Eagles, but I think
he was good.
Time has come.
Right. When you're going up against better talent, he got abused, or he would have to start jumping off sides, causing penalties. So, yeah,
Belinda checking in. Clowney has $117,000 in fines so far this year.
Yeah, but I don't think he was fined this.
I haven't heard anything. That was going to be one of my next questions. Has anyone heard anything? Because I haven't.
No, I haven't
heard. I haven't heard anything from the league. Usually, Wednesday,
right.
you would have heard something.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I don't think it was. A game that you can, get too critical on Peterson for. That was my. I mean, there was a lot. There was plays. We were right there in the game.
The game was there. There's no doubt about it. You're still in the game at the very end again.
Right.
Again, how many? We've talked about this all year.
Oh no, but unfortunately, in that game, unlike like the Giants game or whatever, when they were close games, I never had the feeling that we were winning that game once Carson went out. Unfortunately,
right.
Even though it was a close, like you said, it was a close game. Could have gone either way. I just didn't see that we were going to pull it out for whatever reason. In my gut, watching the game, unlike the other, 4 weeks that we've had leading up to this game.
So should we get a skull chant going for our Vikings fan?
Yeah, but she checked in yet?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, she just did. There we go.
She's on.
Oh yeah, she's all skulling up. That was a push up, by the way.
I didn't say that, Stephanie. I'm clean. I'm clean. I was a Skulls fan Sunday, and I'm a Skulls fan this week.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I heard a lot of people in fantasy football, though. I'll tell you that.
Sorry.
But
who cares? I won. I won. That's all that matters.
Well,
when's the trophy get here?
We're working on that.
Oh, okay. Will I still be alive?
Our surgery guy was taking care of that.
Gotcha.
There was a little bit of a malfunction with your engraving plate.
Not my engraving plate. I had nothing to do with it.
No.
I just told you to get the spelling of my name right.
Well, no, just the plate. That was just a little scale was off on that.
And I showed you a sample, didn't I? Oh, boy.
I wasn't in charge of that.
It's coming. Calm down. It's all good. If we didn't have anything to
complain about,
bust chops about, we wouldn't have anything, right?
Mutual contact. All right.
Mutual contact. It's about time the Vikings got a call. I agree. It's about time.
Yeah.
Told you I'm a big Vikings fan all of a sudden.
Oh, I know. Well, we were the Vikings fans because we wanted to host the NFC Championship game. But now the Eagles are out.
Easy. Why are you going to give all the secrets away? Come on.
But no, it was tough. It was tough to, for the season to end that way.
Well, I guess because
that was a winnable game with Carson.
It was so winnable, and then here we are right back into a Carson Wentz injury, and we got to put up with all the crap from everybody all week, about, Carson being soft and Carson this and Carson that. And, you just get tired of hearing it. You're going to hear about it all off season.
But that guy played with the broken back, though, right?
He did.
Not a broken finger?
No. Yeah. That's two references. We're going to get there. Just hang on. Just hang on.
So, I mean, Doug had a, tough game, have to fight through, and he did well with it, for this game.
Anytime, I mean, you're not even talking about third string guys, fourth string guys, you're talking about.
You're not even talking practice squad. You're talking practice squad to practice squad.
I kudos to Doug. I had his back all year when you were tearing him apart. I still had his back.
But
we can always question the play calling. We can question certain things, but at the end of the day, does the coaching staff, is it going to change that much? I mean, if you lose somebody, obviously.
The only one where it looks like we might be losing is Schwartz.
Well,
possibly, and that's if he takes the Cleveland job, because I mean everything else has been taken up now.
Everything's going to pretty much stay in place.
Mm-hmm. Or as Howie said today, Detroit job, but it was Cleveland.
Well, no, it wasn't Howie who said it. It was the reporter.
Oh, was it
the reporter? Said it was Detroit, and Howie corrected him. So yeah,
I didn't see it.
I forget the guy's name.
Yeah, and I jumped in right as they were talking about that.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I have no health news on Charlie Manuel.
No, hopefully.
No, I do not. But if you get me the hospital, I'll be more than happy to call and find out there, Mr. Stead. So, no changes in the coaching staff except if we lose Jim Schwartz.
Right.
Are we okay with that? I know 6 weeks ago it wasn't an okay thing.
No, I'm not. I mean, but
and I only bring it up because I know you put the coaches and those types on the hot seat on a weekly basis, whether they deserve it or not. You're very candid about what coulda, shoulda, be. What? So I'm just curious your take on.
It's tough. I mean, it's Doug came out and said the offensive coordinator did a great job this year, and wide receiver coach did a great job, and so unfortunately they're slipping my mind right at the moment, their names. And
so basically everybody but Howie, because Howie took the blame for for
not putting a good team on the field.
Everyone else gets a pass because of all the injuries, because of the coaches having to work with the practice squad guys, and prior to that it was backups, and
that's what they're saying, or that's how they're going to.
So when do we hear from Jeffrey Lurie? Because he's the one writing the checks. When does he come to the forefront? And he's the one that usually's got some juice.
No, he will. I would have thought that would have been today as well. You would have heard something from him.
I haven't heard anything.
I think a lot of it is going to be also, that they made the playoffs, so that's going to, sugarcoat some of the, hey, we battled through this whole season. And
Well, as somebody in the store said, they backed in. Yeah, don't look too far.
Don't
look too far.
Well, let's face it, they did. I mean, up until they went out and beat the Cowboys, so they didn't back in based off of that. But
they didn't back in.
They didn't back in, no, but they backed in. because the other weeks prior to that the Cowboys.
I should get some kind of special pay having to deal with this.
Well, I mean, it's true. I mean, you want to talk about bad coaching staff? There's a bad coaching staff down there.
We talked about that.
I mean I'm just fortunate. That's why I was trying to keep it under wraps because these walls have bugs that Jerry Jones might have heard about it, and I mean that was 10 years of him being there.
10 years too much.
Yeah, I mean that's
10 years in the last 5 or 6. Why is Jason Garrett still the coach?
Right.
But no, I
mean, he was like George Costanza. He was sitting there all the time. Coming back into the game.
Getting back to the Doug thing for a little bit. And I know you talked about it. Being too soft and not running a hard enough practice, and coming from the background that he came from, former player.
Mm-hmm.
Worked under Green Bay. With Brett Favre,
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he's got a lot of game in him, you know what I mean? And you would think he's seen it all, you know what I mean? This year seemed to just be over the top, with
the injuries,
with the injuries. And,
mm-hmm.
I mean, I never even heard him say once about next man up because
right.
we were so past that.
Mm-hmm.
It just,
Definitely need the wide receivers better. Yep.
I take the first three picks and draft wide receivers and defensive backs.
Yeah.
And maybe a linebacker.
Yeah, AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, a lot of guys with initials. Look for those guys, and maybe another hint to Howie, maybe go for the SEC guys and big school team guys. Get some of these.
Well, they're
even the guy out of Penn State.
Yeah, well, he's coming out, right?
Yeah,
number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. I forget his name.
But yeah, it's But I mean, Penn State's been putting out some wide receivers lately.
They have. Well, they
and not that they're not a big team either.
They have. You know what I mean?
Being a Big Ten, I mean, it's you got to get guys that want to be there.
So, Belinda, I know we need corners, D-backs, and safeties. I feel like we talk about that every year.
Right. Well, we need it even more with the free agents now.
But
everybody's going.
But what do you do with your first round pick?
You got to get a wide receiver.
I mean, because basically right now, who you got coming back?
You got a broken down Jeffries.
If Alshon, can get healed up,
mm-hmm.
You got to deal with him and his $20 million contract.
Right.
Aguilar's out of here.
And Aguilar's gone,
right?
And then you got J.J. Whiteside.
You still got J.J. They're not going to give up on him.
No, not after
year 2. You can't.
No, especially plus he's already paid.
Do they give a contract to Greg Ward and try to fit him in as a slot guy, a wildcat guy,
mm-hmm.
something where, I mean, you don't know about Deshaun,
right.
with his injuries. He never plays a full season.
No, exactly. Yeah. He's going to be back, but he's going to be hurt. That's going to.
So, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? I mean, I know he busted hard to get back if they were going to play this weekend, but that's a moot point now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I honestly believe unless there's somebody out there that's just, you got to have,
mm-hmm.
For the backfield, a D-back or a safety.
The wide receiver, there's probably about 5 to 8 wide receivers, in this draft that they're talking about. It's a deep draft here, Jerry. So which might then also might also lean to the fact that maybe you do go cornerback or safety just to
well, they haven't had any luck drafting at that position.
Any of them, wide receiver as well. You know, I mean, that's their problem. They can't address that
Well,
talent.
Deshaun was a nice draft pick back in the day. You know, when he came out of where did he come out of Cal?
We'll see.
Cal, and then you had Jeremy Maclin. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a good. That was a good draft year.
Those guys were, yeah.
That was a good draft year. You know.
Well, I mean, since then though, it's been lean. It's been lean
Yeah,
picking wide receivers.
It's been ugly.
And so it's best player. You always got to do that. That's the way to go with the best player available. But unfortunately, I don't know how much Howie knows who's the best player available is at the time when it comes up.
Yes, folks, it's the beat up Howie hour.
Well, I mean, it's just that's his best part is doing contracts. I mean that's his in getting the salary cap to where it's at, where we're $30 million under the cap.
And he lost his head guy, right? He went to the Jets.
Joe Jordan.
Yeah.
No.
So I don't know who's in charge now.
Yeah, but I think Howie is. He was doing it.
Yeah, but who's under Howie that's gonna put this ship back together. Because I don't know, one of our listeners said, best available, absolutely. Jerry Dillon.
Jerry was.
Because you do have a lot of needs.
Oh,
you really do.
Oh no,
You've got, I mean, you probably, could use another big horse up front.
Right.
On both the O line and the D line.
Well, we need to get a center eventually because with Kelsey.
He was supposed to have a press conference, and I never did see it.
I haven't seen anything yet.
So I guess he's put that on the back burner.
Maybe.
I got a funny feeling he could be nearing the end.
Right.
I really do.
Oh no,
I really honestly do. I hate to see it because he's
oh no, we would hate to see it, but
we've been spoiled with him.
Right.
We really have.
And when you this is the second year that he'll be talking about possible retirement. Once you start talking about retiring, you're retired.
Yeah.
But
he had a great year. He really did.
No, he
had a great year. Third year in a row now for
Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
Yeah, first team. Yeah, I don't know. Yep, it's draft.
Where can you find those draft magazines? I don't. Do they even still have news agencies? And what do you got to go to a bookstore or what? Or is that a fantasy magazine?
Might be fantasy. But yeah, it's going to be tough. Just because you have 21 players that you got to re-sign.
Who's the prominent name on that list?
Prominent names?
Yeah, who's probably the biggest? Who's the biggest name? Are there any top guys that you could see them re-signing?
Well, you got Bradham. Will be it just this is a line like you got your starters that you got. You got Bradham.
Talk about guys who had horrible games on Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Where was he?
Yeah. Yeah.
He had one assignment.
Right.
One assignment.
Yeah.
That was it.
Just take care of the quarterback.
And he couldn't do that.
Right.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. You got McLeod. That's another starter. You got Darby. Jason Peters. We all, think that he should be able to move on.
Well, I think I think that the clock has run out on Jason.
Right.
Don't you?
I mean, as far
I know
as being
he
a
says
starter.
he wants to play,
Right?
But play for what?
Yeah.
You're going to take a small contract to stay in Philly.
Yeah.
Is somebody going to pay you big money to, play half a season?
Yeah. Yeah. Play a game here and there. Nate Sudfeld. Being a backup.
Yeah, I'd love to see him re-sign Howard, the running back.
Yeah, and then
Jordan Howard. I'd love to see. You bring you figure him, Howard, and Miles Sanders and Boston Scott. That's a nice little three-headed monster.
And then Corey Clement.
Yeah, we forget about Corey, but I mean, I don't know where he's at and what they're thinking. No, personally, Corey's a great guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'd love to see him back in Philly, but he'll get a job.
Oh yeah,
he'll get a job somewhere. He's his resume is good special teams player. He can fill in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
So
you got Vaitai. You got to worry about. As far as if you're losing them, it's another offensive line spot that you got to worry about.
Right.
Whether you got
what are
Vinny
we
Curry.
doing? What are we doing with what are we doing with this Aussie that we've been kind of naturing for the past 2 years?
I think
is it time?
I think he's been kicked off. He's been kicked off.
Oh yeah, he's gone.
I don't know that he's gone, but I don't know that he's.
He just does appearances at schools.
Right, he became like the fireman that we had a bunch of years ago.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Danny Watkins.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that was ugly.
Yeah.
Ooh, anybody remember him?
I did, unfortunately.
He sat at this table right here and told another guy, he goes, I don't think I'll be back next year. He goes, I think I'm going to go back and fight fires.
Right.
Back to British Columbia and be a fireman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what he did.
Right.
He had no heart.
Yeah.
He didn't want to play football, but he did take the signing bonus money.
Of course. I mean, same thing with this guy, and you got, Howard, like we mentioned, Jalen Mills, does he come back?
KJ Hamler is the wide receiver out of Penn State.
There you go.
So we got, apparently he's listed 12th ranked wide receiver right now in the draft.
And then, which is big, which could be a second, maybe a third rounder, probably a second rounder, but, and then the big one is, which is a hidden weapon that we've had.
Hey, watch those firemen joke. No, that was no joke.
No.
That wasn't a joke. That was not a joke.
They're all important.
Nope. We're not poking. We're not poking the fire. Nope. We were poking the player. We were poking the player. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then you got Cameron Johnson.
Yeah, well,
that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a huge one in my. You got. I mean, he's a good punter.
Right.
What's it? That's going to take a lot of money, right?
Well, it shouldn't, but it's just another spots that you're going to have to deal with. So I mean, there's some big names. Obviously McCown's going to be gone, but.
So your buddy Joe is asking how much to keep Jenkins.
Probably going to cost you a 3-year deal, whatever that would be.
30, 40 million.
Well, isn't that where he's at now? Around 10. I think he wants like 14-ish.
But I think he wants more years, more so than, the bigger dollars.
If we can do that, yeah. I mean, probably in the 30 to 40 million.
It seems
range.
to be a no-brainer for me, but I'm not writing the check.
Plus you're 30 million under the cap.
You need him,
right?
It's a position of need. He's a leader,
right?
He's kept this team together for a couple of years,
and especially under the Schwartz, if Schwartz is still back, and under he's more like a linebacker than a safety, the way they use him. So it's. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a big key. So just a matter of what that dollar number is that it's gonna take to keep him here. If he's gonna want the max.
Well, what's the market for a guy like that? I mean, is there still a market for a guy like that at a $14 million cap hit? 3 years is there still? I mean, he still has a year left here,
right?
So I don't know what his bargaining power is going to be, other than to what, sit out.
Well, yeah, sit out, and then you're still an Eagles.
But what's his bargaining power?
There's not much, but we've seen it with the Elliott, earlier with the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's a different player. It's a different position.
No, it is.
He's a much younger player. You're talking. He's got a little gray in his beard.
He does, but it's just one of those things you're gonna have to pay him. And what guys are getting $15-16 million to play safeties. The big guys that are out there.
But
and
he's no Jalen Ramsey.
No, but
I couldn't say that to his face, but
right.
I could say it here. He'd smack me.
Well, it's just one of those things. It's going to be depends on what you got, but I don't think it should be a problem though, because we have the money under the cap.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you're